bike in front of us here is the Cannondale Supersix Evo Carbon Ultegra. Brand new 2017 bike. So last year we launched a brand new Evo model, and we launched it as the high mod rim brake version.
Yes.
And that was the first model in a whole new generation of Evos. So the difference on that bike over its predecessor were that we switched to a slightly wider bottom bracket. So we went from BB30, well, technically a press fit 30, 68mm shell to a 73. And we did that for two reasons. 73mm shell makes it a little bit stiffer at the BB, so obviously better pedalling characteristics in terms of stiffness. But the main reason was obviously the market's going to wider tyres. Everybody wants to run 25 to 28mm tyres instead of the traditional 23 to 25. So by making that bottom bracket wider, we've got a more asymmetric back end, and it gives us more tyre clearance to get the 28mm tyre clearance. Other features of the new Evo, we went to a 25/4 seat post instead of the 27/2 that we'd historically used on the Evo. And while some people were like, oh, new standard, 25/4, obviously the classic inch seat post from forever. Yeah. So, and that provided around the BB, around the sort of seat tube area, going to the 25/4 makes a huge difference in comfort.
Is it simply a question of taking the existing bike and adding disc brakes, or is it?
No, it's not. When we introduced the new, so last year we introduced this new Evo platform in high mod rim, and then for 2017 that has filtered down into every Evo. So now we've got in the family a high mod disc and a high mod rim. What some people call standard mod, but we just prefer the term carbon because standard isn't exactly a spectacular word. So we've got high mod rim, high mod disc, carbon rim, carbon disc. So they're the two main differences, and then we've got the women's platform, which is all different moulds in itself. So the new Evo platform, all those models now share all those features that I've mentioned, and it's a huge number of moulds, and also all the moulds are individual. So the disc brake frame is completely different to the rim brake frame. It's not just a case of using the front end mould and then putting a different back end on for disc brakes. The whole frame is completely unique. The carbon layout is different. The way the routing goes through, it's a completely different frame to the rim brake model. Okay. It's got the right blend of weight to stiffness to aero to comfort, and we feel that we've got the best all-round bike. You can get a more aero bike, you can get a lighter bike, you can get a stiffer bike, but in terms of the best complement of all those elements that give you performance, the Evo is regarded as one of the benchmark bikes, and the feedback that we got was that we managed to retain the feel of the Evo whilst adding to the performance bit by adding the discs. We hadn't gone and made the bike feel too stiff or too different from the Evo, so we retained its ride quality. The disc brake range is fairly extensive, even going all the way up to we do two versions of the black ink bike now. So we do the black ink rim and disc, and the disc one has also got Di2, so that's knocking on a £10,000 bike, which we've never had before from Cannondale. This is more palatable. This is a £2,500 bike. And for £2,500, you've got carbon frame fork, obviously Mavic wheel set, Shimano full hydro, Ultegra transmission with our Cannondale SI chain set. Weight-wise, I think it tips the scales at about 8 kilos. So for a bike with discs and Axiom wheels, which obviously are really good sort of entry-level Mavic wheel, I think it's a really competitive package.